Oh, are we good? Oh, there we go.
Is it?
Yeah. Hello, test. Oh, are we good? Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Sweet. Okay, hi everybody. Sorry. I realized that I've been using this mic for the past 2 live streams, and I actually didn't link it so that the sound was coming from the mic until today. So I apologize for the last 2 minutes. But yeah, thank you for being here as usual. I'm going to pop the chat out. Really excited for today's live stream because I have a very special guest with me. And
that's me.
Yes, that is Daniel. Okay, so let me just get my chat box back. Gosh, this is a problem.
Swipe up with 3 fingers.
What does that do?
It...
No, see, that's because I didn't set it like that. That's what I should do, but I didn't. Okay, so while I'm trying to figure this out. No, I got it. All right. Hey, everybody. Sorry. I really appreciate you bearing with me. I promise I'll get the rhythm at some point. Okay, here we go. So make sure to kind of talk in there, yeah?
Okay.
Perfect. So yeah, so the mic's here and here.
Okay.
Cool. Daniel, what's up?
It's going good.
You're out of frame. Yeah.
It's because of the mic.
Here, help me. How's that? Yeah.
All right, yeah.
All right, cool. So, hi, everyone. Welcome to Heather's Happy Hour, episode 12. Today, I am really excited because, like I said, I'm joined by a very, very special guest. This is Daniel Moreno. And Daniel, why don't you start by explaining how we met?
So I met Heather back in 2011.
I feel so old.
2011.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I was going to say 10, but I think it was 11. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
2011. I was in high school then. I was a junior, and I had just started volunteering. I had joined what is called the VCYC, which is the Volunteer Center Youth Coalition, which Heather was the programs coordinator for. And
Hi, Toya.
sorry that I read that. And
yeah, so the chats are going to come up, so just ignore it. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I ended up doing an event that my friend had told me about, which was Make a Difference Day, which is an event that is hosted every November, October time frame. Mm-hmm. It ended up being really cool, so I decided to join. It was not like a requirement or anything. I just thought I should be using my time to do something and not just go home. I mean, go to school, go home, go to school, go home is all I was doing. So I was like, I might as well do something with my life. And this group really helped me with that. Yeah.
So like Daniel said, I was the programs coordinator, the youth programs coordinator for the program that he joined. It was one of the programs that I managed, and we're going to refer to it often pretty much for this live stream. So it was called the Volunteer Center Youth Coalition, or the VCYC. And Daniel, 16 years old at the time, that's when he met because he had joined the program. And what's the difference between the VCYC and any other volunteering opportunity? It's an actual program. This isn't just like a one-time event. You help out for 3 hours stuffing envelopes or something. This is an actual, like, you join the Volunteer Center Youth Coalition. There is a procedure for like joining it, and then you have to maintain like certain requirements to remain a member.
Yeah. So to go off of that, like she said, it's not like where you just go and like fill up envelopes. You actually have a voice in it. That's what I really liked, and what I took from it is the event that I went to was basically a Halloween festival for kids in the San Pedro area that it's not really safe for them to go trick-or-treating. So the VCYC had created an event to give them their own trick-or-treating day at, what was it, a school or like a daycare thing?
It was a nonprofit, yeah.
Okay. So that's why I joined. And then once I joined, I realized that you could actually do hands-on things with it. You could basically do like whatever you want. So the requirements were you had to go to the general body meeting, which was twice a month. And then you had to maintain 4 hours of service a month.
Of community service.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we had different clubs within the group, which were, you could do like Ways and Means, which was like the finances, or the club for Make a Difference Day, or the other 4 national service days in the United States, which are MLK Day, Global Youth Service Day, and wait, is there only 3?
9/11.
9/11 Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So today, what we're going to be talking about, hi Toya, hi Jimmy, yeah. So the topics for today's live stream is twofold. Okay, I want you to get Daniel's perspective as a volunteer, but then also my perspective having been a mentor as part of my career, which has really helped me not only in entrepreneurship, but especially with vlogging, because that has helped me to understand people with what they're struggling with, because I was able to, like Daniel, the fact that we are reconnecting, even though we met in 2011, we've still been able to maintain this friendship. So it's like I've seen him go through struggles and I've seen him succeed, and that has given me kind of just like a window into what other people are going through, which really helps me to create my content for YouTube and other types of digital content. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. But I do want to start with volunteering and interning. So let's talk about why you're here today. Okay, I haven't seen Daniel in a long time. We've met up. Okay, when did you graduate high school? How about that? When did you leave the program?
2013.
Okay, so we worked together for 2 years, and then you went off to college, and we probably after you graduated till today, we met up a couple times just to catch up.
Only like 3 times, I think.
Yeah, and it's crazy because this kid is now 22 years old, and last time we went out, we had beers, and it makes me feel so old that you can drink now.
Doesn't it make you feel proud though?
I mean, I don't know. It's like such a trip because you're always gonna be like, like young to me, like always. But okay, so let's talk about why you're here today.
All right, so I'm here today because my major in college right now is PR and advertising. So I decided to branch out to Heather, use my connections with her to try to get like a feel of like the PR and the PR aspects that she deals with doing with Sharespark and all her YouTubing. Or is that the term for it?
YouTubing.
If you're a YouTuber?
Vlogging.
Vlogging. Yeah. So that's mainly why I'm here today. So I reached out to her, maybe do an internship. Today was actually the first day, and hopefully there's other days to come. I don't know.
Of course, yes.
We haven't talked about it yet.
Yes. Hi, Rob.
But yeah, so that's why I'm here today, is to try to kind of kickstart my career, because I know it's like a cutthroat world out there, and like you're not going to get anywhere unless you kind of like take initiative and take advantage of all the connections that you have.
Yes. And so this is kind of what I want to stress to you. I know that most of my audience is like, you guys are full grown adults. Some of you guys have kids of your own. But like, if any teenagers happen to be watching, any high school students, college students, or if you guys have kids that are in this age range, I really want to stress to you how important it is to have a young person volunteer, because it really does empower them in a way that they will never get in the classroom and they will never get at school. And I think that feeling of I am valuable, I am worth, I can impact someone's life who has like fewer opportunities than me or is like less fortunate. I think that experience really just is there for life, and the fact that Daniel reached out to me, it's not like, I was like, I need more help, I'm going to see who can help me. It was Daniel reaching out to me, taking the initiative. And, I really attest that to his growth from having volunteered in high school. We were just having this discussion earlier. There are plenty of other students, there are plenty of other people who have probably more opportunities than Daniel has or even me. But the difference is that we take advantage of them and we actually, take the initiative versus they just wait for things to come to them. And so, could you talk a little bit more about how volunteering impacted maybe not only just your life as a teenager, but even your career?
Okay, yeah.
The beginnings of it, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. So going into the VCYC, I was like this really timid and shy. Like I probably would never be on a YouTube live show right now if it weren't for volunteering, because I was like the shyest thing in the world.
Hi, Sid.
Hi. But yeah, I was super timid, super shy, and honestly, going into the VCYC, I went in thinking, okay, I'm gonna do the bare minimum. I'm just gonna do this to get credit for high school, maybe get into a college, and that was my plan initially. And then once I joined it, I realized that there's just so much opportunity to grow, and I really kind of branched out of like my comfort zone. One thing that I definitely learned in the VCYC that wasn't like what high school doesn't teach you is like how to actually talk to people and like connect and like speak publicly. In the VCYC, there's a lot of opportunity to like get your voice out there and like actually like talk to a group, because I know like everyone hates public speaking. Like
it's not easy.
You have to like do the presentation, like, okay, I have to be there for 5 minutes, I don't want to do this. But honestly, volunteering has helped so much in that way, and it definitely kickstarted where I am today, because if I didn't get that experience, I would never be in like PR advertising, because I would never want to be in front of people or anything.
Right.
And sorry.
And I think like going off of that, so it doesn't have to be the VCYC per se. It could be really any volunteering program. In high school, I think a lot of other programs offer similar opportunities, but I think what really helped Daniel is that, you know, I didn't have to tell him, like no one had to tell him that the opportunities were there. It's just kind of, you have to be in it. And if he sees it in himself and he actually like takes the initiative without anyone telling him, like, hey, this is going to help me develop as a leader, develop my public speaking skills. The way that it helped him practically is that, you know, when you're in high school, you're only talking to your teacher one-on-one or your friends. Yeah. Your friends that you're already comfortable with. But in his position, he took on leadership positions where he had to give direction to a bunch of kids he had never met before, to a bunch of kids who he maybe would never hang out with or he disagreed with on certain things. And I think that's what really, like, that experience is so rare in high school. Like, I don't even think that that's in the curriculum, you know, unless you went to go seek it out. So anyway, I cut you off. Sorry.
Yeah.
Volunteering helped you so much.
Oh yeah. And also in like college, it helps because college is a lot different than high school. They don't, like high school, they tell you what you should be doing. Like, go join clubs, go do this.
There's like a guidance counselor. There's your teachers.
There's like all these resources that are like thrown at you. But in college, that's not the fact. Like, there's so many resources, but nobody goes out and gets them. Like, they're there. Just go and get them.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that I like took from the VCYC is that how she was saying, like, you just have to get it. Like, you don't need somebody to tell you to go get it. You need to do it yourself.
Yeah.
I lost my train of thought again.
Well, it's funny because I did a live stream with my roommate Pranka back in the summer, and we were talking about how different our college experiences were, because I was that person where the opportunities were boundless, but I never went out of my way to take advantage of them, but she did. And that's why she was able to be, even though she was 4 years younger than me, she was a manager at 23 years old of a Fortune 500 company. And like, you know, this is like a really big company. She has like over 150 employees that she managed, and she did that straight out of college, being only 23 years old. So that's the difference. I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, I'm any worse for it, but like, it goes back to being able to capitalize on the opportunities that are already around you. And I think that people don't give volunteering enough credit. You know, I think that I don't know if that there's not enough people who volunteer and share their experiences like you are doing now, or I don't know what it is, but
I feel like it's definitely people go into it the way I went into it. It's just thinking
you have to do
college credit, get into college, you need it, instead of like taking valuable stuff from it. But yeah, that's what I saw a lot in high school was people were like, oh, I need to join clubs. What is it? CJSF, CSF,
NHS,
Key Club,
yeah,
that kind of
your
stuff.
Typical, yeah.
Yeah, people just go into it because they know, oh, college apps will love that. But what do they really take from it?
Right. Yeah. Is it something just for the application, or, you know, how does it affect you personally, professionally, as a person? How does it help you grow, etc.?
Yeah.
So cool. Okay. So let's talk about, you know, obviously a lot of people are watching because they are fans of me. Could you talk about me back then? How was I like a mentor? Because it's weird because, like, I think to me, I have the same level of respect for, say, my mentor, Sid. It's like, but the person who is the mentor never really, there's no way to prepare to be a mentor, you know? Like, that was my second job. I had no idea what I was doing, you know? But you guys, like, looked up to me so much. So I want to know, like, what was that? You know?
Oh, gosh. I gotta think way back. So like I said, I was like super timid, and I wanted to do all these opportunities that were given, and I didn't know, like, I knew they were there, but I didn't really know how to like grab them. So that's when I ran into Heather's office like 95% of the week.
Yeah. Daniel is one of the most active members of the group ever. Like, in my entire career there, you really, you know, like, embraced the opportunity, which was great because, look, it's obviously clearly paying off.
Yeah.
You know?
So Heather was just kind of that ear to always listen to you, and then she wasn't afraid to like tell you like how it is. Like, you know, some people just tell you what you want to hear and like what will help you, but like Heather like will tell you how it is. Like,
yeah.
I'm trying to think of like a specific example.
But I know that, you know, like Maddie used to say that to me. Like, a lot of the other kids would say that too, and I think it was because we had such a small age gap between us, you know. So how old are you?
I'm 22 now.
Okay, so maybe not so small because they're like 10 years apart. But like the person who was in my previous position was like way older.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like, it's just like different kind of connection. And I see myself, I feel so much younger than I am. So I feel like we were able to connect that way. But yeah, I think authenticity and being genuine always wins no matter what. Like, clearly that's true from my YouTube videos. Clearly that's true being a mentor. You know, you can go back to me and Sid's episode on mentoring. It really is just like giving your heartfelt, thoughtful, genuine perspective on whatever someone needs help with. But yeah. Okay. So, hey everyone, just hi video guy. He was like my favorite kid at Rolling Hills Prep. He's only a 7th grader. My favorite. Okay, so what else were we going to talk about? Oh yeah, talk about this.
This part?
Yep.
Okay. So one of the things that I jotted down that I also got from it was like brainstorming. In high school, they don't really teach you how to like brainstorm with your peers. It's just kind of, all right, solo work, do this, don't talk to no one, figure it out.
Hey, Joseph.
But
hi, Roman Videos.
Learning how to brainstorm with your peers is such an important, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Trait? Skill that you should have, especially in my position for PR and advertising. That's like your whole job is you need to be able to talk to other people, brainstorm, get ideas out there, and just figure out how to solve things. So
Daniel, I'm going to tell you, brainstorming is an aspect of it, but really what it is creativity.
Yeah.
It's creativity and collaboration. So you have to be able to come up with ideas that never have been done before. You have to approach a problem, and that is the first time the problem has existed. So it's like, how are you guys going to come together as a team to be able to come up with several solutions, weigh which one is going to be the most effective, and then carry that out? And knowing how to, I mean, you know this, we used to have long meetings of like, how are we going to solve this problem? And we disagreed, we would be there for hours, but it's like, you know, I just love the fact that you were able to experience that before you even got into a job, because that's just so rare. Even talk about the jobs that you had as a high school student, like
inside the VCYC.
No, like as like paying jobs. You know, because a lot of kids, when they're in high school, they'll go work at the movie theater or something, or like, you know.
Okay, so like.
Like your summer job or something.
I don't really have a summer job.
Okay, how about what do you do now? Like a customer service job.
Okay, so.
Like, do you get that same experience? Like,
you definitely, if you're gonna have like a retail job and you need the customer service aspect, you would definitely need the public speaking skills, because you could tell a lot of times when you go to like a place and the people aren't really personable and they're just kind of like, oh, it's gonna be $25, give me your money, versus like somebody that genuinely like, I don't want to say they all care about your life, but they're are able to like connect with you in a way that somebody else can't, that hasn't had this like public speaking like background type of thing.
Right, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see, what else did we talk about? Oh yeah, so what did you want to talk about this?
Sure.
Yeah. So actually, let's talk about what you learned today.
Oh my god.
How was your first day? So, this is what was interesting for me. When we originally worked together at my previous job at the volunteer center, I already knew what to do. Like, I knew what to teach the kids. How many kids were in the program on average?
When I joined, not that many, like 60.
That's a lot. That's a lot of kids.
Is that? I mean, when I became VP of membership, we had 110 at the highest or something.
That's true. Okay, yeah, that's true.
So 60 was pretty low.
Okay, so there's 60 kids in the program. I knew what to teach these kids. Like, you know, the nonprofit I was working for, we had a curriculum, and I just had to basically execute and you know, empower the kids so that they can do these things. Coming today, it was the first time where it's like, I have no idea. Like, I don't know what to teach Daniel. I don't, you know, I want to make sure that if he's approaching me because he sees something about my experience that he wants to gain from, I want to make sure that, you know, I'm not just giving him envelopes to stuff, which I would never do, but I want it to be meaningful to you.
Yes.
So he told me a little bit about what you want to pursue as a career, and let's talk about why we decided to talk about what we did today and like what you think about it.
Okay. So a lot of the stuff we talked about today was really understanding, like, or let me go to what I want to do first before because it would have not made sense. So I kind of want to go into crisis management and a public relations standpoint, which is basically
there's a brand.
Yeah, so there's a brand and then something happens and you got to fix it. Okay, yes. So I used Chipotle as an example today, how they had the E. coli incident. And my job as crisis management would be the person that said, okay, we're going to give out free burritos. We're going to close down all the stores and do this hands-on training so that the public trusts us again. It's basically what I want to do. So then Heather expanded on that, saying a lot of the crisis management has to deal with preventing the crisis in the first place, which I kind of understood in the back of my head, but today was more eye-opening on understanding like what the brand is exactly, and just kind of like how do you go about being the brand so that you don't really have to do the crisis so much. So yeah, that's where I was getting to about brands. Is we talked a lot about analytics and how to maintain a brand, who you're trying to reach to, like make sure you know your audience, and oh my god, what am I missing? About that, like impressions aren't everything, that's the thing that's changing. And I have learned that in college a little bit.
Yeah, you learned that in college.
But it's because some of my professors are like old, so they're like teaching us how to do PR, but then a lot of them are like, but stuff is changing, so we're going to teach you this, but you're going to have to learn this on the job.
Wow, so, that's what they say. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's very interesting to me.
So one professor in particular right now she's not old, but she is
old school.
Yes. But she still like tries to be hip. So she's still trying to like
understand like new media and all this stuff.
So she like researches and like tells us like what like she's getting back from the research on like how things are changing. And try to be more specific. What do you mean by things are changing? Okay, so the things we talked about changing is we talked about the difference between impressions and actual engagement in the content.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. And the reason why like things are changing to me is the entire world, honestly, because so much of our world is based off of business and how people connect and communicate. And because of new media, because of YouTube vlogs, because of social media, because all these things, that's why I started Sharespark Media, because I feel like the implications of how our world is changing is still not even like the dust hasn't settled yet. Like any other new platform, new feature, Instagram just rolled out a feature today where you can have multiple pictures in one post.
Oh, yeah,
that's going to change everything. That. Yeah, like that is going to have a huge impact. People don't realize that, but like, you know, when Snapchat comes out with one little tiny feature, it changes everything. Like now you are able to connect with someone in a way that you never had before, and people just download the updates and they don't even, you know, obviously why would they think like, oh, how's this going to impact me or whatever, but it's so interesting to hear the discussions in academia, because I wanted to know, are they even teaching you this? Because it's constantly changing.
They're kind of brushing over it, but the thing is they don't know.
Yeah,
so,
of
like
course,
how
because it hasn't played out yet.
Especially since a lot of the teachers now aren't in the field anymore, so they're really not.
They don't have the experience. Yeah. Wow, that's so interesting. Okay, so what's an impression? You learned that today. What is that?
So an impression is anytime you scroll down a certain thing. So say there's an ad on your Instagram feed. Every time you scroll down it isn't one impression. So you can scroll down it multiple times. Like me, I'm on Instagram, let's just say 5 times an hour. Okay.
Often. Frequently, yeah.
So I scroll past it 5 times, that's 5 impressions. And then the difference with engagements is if you like it, that's 1 like, but not 5 likes or
unique visitors. That's what you're talking about.
I know, but you used a different term. Views?
I think it was unique visitors. So like Daniel learned about impressions and unique visitors today. Okay, so I could post something on Instagram, and because he logs in so often, he could see that post 5 times. So that is 5 impressions from Daniel on that one post, but he is only 1 unique visitor. Yes, so you have 2 sets of analytics that you have to analyze now. You have a number for unique visitors and a number for impressions. Your impressions might be 3,000, but if your unique visitors is only 1, then 1 person saw your post 3,000 times. Yeah. So it's like you kind of have to factor those in to what you end up creating and how you analyze your data and what you plan to do with it and stuff like that. And this is the stuff that I feel like they can't teach you because it's constantly changing. Yeah.
And I always wonder that too when I'm watching a YouTuber and I notice that there's like diehard people that are like, I'm just going to watch it a bunch of times so that they get like 5 million views on it. So I always wondered like if it shows that, okay, yeah, you got 5 million views, but it was from 2 people. I always wondered if like that was a factor because I'm not a YouTuber, so I never see like the analytics side of it.
And today I showed Daniel my YouTube analytics. What did you think of it? So first of all, explain your YouTube activity.
So I'm a very avid YouTuber. Do you want me to talk about the medium that I use to watch it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, so.
So a reminder again, if you're just tuning in, Daniel's 22 years old, and he's saying avid YouTuber as in you watch YouTube
daily.
Okay. Daily.
Daily. But most of the YouTube I watch is through the Apple TV, which going through today, I noticed that I don't get a lot of, I don't want to say spam that you get on a computer, but
like
from my
pop-ups?
It kind of is spam, but all you get is you watch the video. At the end of the video, you get the next video. That's all you see. You don't get an option to like, comment, click links, do anything. So learning today that a lot of the stuff behind it is going like, commenting, that kind of stuff, and not on the views was actually made me feel kind of
insightful for both of us.
Yeah,
because knowing that, like, say Daniel watches one of my videos, he can never click on anything because he's watching it on Apple TV.
Yeah. And I think that's for most smart TVs.
Yeah. That's interesting.
But yeah, what was your question?
I totally forgot. What did you think of? Oh yeah, so you're an avid YouTuber. What did you think now seeing the behind the scenes from like a YouTube creator?
I think honestly,
like, did you think all that was back there? Like,
I knew there was a lot, but I didn't know there was that much there. And I feel like I should interact a lot more with like my favorite YouTubers.
Because you see, yes,
Yeah.
every minute that you spend watching, not necessarily my content, whoever your favorite vlogger is, it really like makes a difference so much. Like, you don't understand how one view, 1 minute of you watching, one like, one comment could really go so far as to whether that video gets watched again by somebody else. So, yeah. Jabbing because you can't afford to hook sounds like a cool career path. I don't know what that means.
Ask him.
Yeah. Black Doom. Elaborate. Yeah. So, okay. What else did you learn today?
I learned that. I definitely learned about more of taking initiative and using your connections with the way I watched you and Sid. That was really eye-opening too.
So you guys know this. Sid is my mentor, and he came over today, and Daniel sat in on our session. Well, not our session. We just caught up. But yeah, keep going. What did you think?
Just like hearing all his connections and all the potential that
just from that conversation. Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy. Like,
I'm glad that because I wasn't sure what you were thinking as you were just sitting there. I was like, I wonder what he's thinking about right now.
Like, although a lot of it was like chit chat and like catch up, the times that he did talk about like his group and the stuff that he's starting up was like, wow. Like, I didn't even know like stuff like that was out there, or like how much potential like one person can make on like you. Like, it was just,
yeah, the opportunities that like each person can bring to the table. And then also the opportunities between collaborations, right? Yeah. And that's like what I see every day. The overload of just like, I mean, I work at a WeWork. Everyone here is an entrepreneur. Everyone here comes with 500 opportunities. And like when we come together, it's like 1,000. And it's like, oh my gosh, you know, and it just gets overwhelming sometimes. But okay, cool. That's a good thing to learn.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I just feel like it's crazy balancing all that stuff, especially when you were talking about the other guy that reached out to you.
Yes.
What you said that he said really like stuck with me with you kind of had to just take everything and like really like, what was it? Am I allowed to say it? Like,
what is it? I don't know what you're talking about.
No, the thing where you said, do you regret anything? Like, what would you say you regret? Like,
taking, okay, yeah. So,
do you want to elaborate on it more?
Okay, yeah. So basically, I met with someone yesterday that I had met through the WeWork app. And one of the questions that I had asked him, actually, it is okay for you to say it because he said it in the vlog that I have yet to edit. But he talked about one of the questions that I guess we entrepreneurs get all the time is like, do you regret anything? Would you do anything differently? And I think most entrepreneurs would say they would not regret anything because everything is a learning experience at the end of the day. But he had a very practical example where he had been one of the first people on YouTube. He's an early adopter. And I guess YouTube had approached him to ask him if he wanted to build the YouTube space here in LA. And he had ended up turning it down, thinking it was just kind of like spam or something. And now, you know, that's one of his regrets. So what was your takeaway from that?
Take was take everything. Like, don't really let anything like pass by you without at least giving it like a thought or analyzing like what it could potentially like bring to you, which is like a big circle to what we're talking about.
Exactly, right.
Just kind of take initiative, and if something presents itself and it seems easy, just
why not?
Yeah, take it. You don't know where it will lead.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Which is kind of how the VCYC was for me.
Yeah.
Because it just was thrown at me. A friend randomly came to me and say, hey, I'm going to go volunteer. You want to go? I was like, all right, I'm not doing anything. Might as well. And it led to this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know. Crazy how you are now here because of that. Wow. That
one thing. One thing.
That's crazy. So let's see. What else? I don't know. You guys are really quiet today. How you doing over there? Checking in. They're
How
usually
long have we
like,
been on?
like I started at 6, so it's 6:37.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
What did I teach you today?
Oh, so much. I just get market research from every like moment of my life. You taught me today. What was really insightful is understanding how I was gonna say your generation. We're both millennials technically, but I feel like early 20s is completely different from like early 30s. And I don't personally watch YouTube, which is funny for people to hear because I'm a YouTube vlogger, but I just don't. The only person I really watched was Casey Neistat. But seriously, I'm just not, like weeks can go by and I'm never on YouTube. Usually I watch YouTube if I'm looking for something specific, whether it's a song or a tutorial or a product review, but I very rarely, I'm subscribed to people I just don't, I don't know, I have a lot of other things to do, I guess. But Daniel, to know that it's part of your daily routine to go on YouTube, that fascinates me because I think most people, I would say 30 and up, only go to YouTube because the video is on their Facebook feed or something. They don't go into YouTube first. It's kind of like they're being directed there, but you go to YouTube, and you don't even know what you're going to see, but you just go there. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
And you also sharing the insight from your brother, who is 13. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh, okay. So we never even decided what generation he is, but he was born in 2003, to put that in perspective, whatever generation that is. But going from me, a millennial, to him I would say I watched YouTube on a daily basis at this level, and then my brother's all the way up here, which I understand because he is a different generation. He takes more from that. But just to see the commitment difference between me and him is kind of eye-opening.
Okay, and then this was the most mind-blowing thing for me is that his brother, 13 years old, creates content at 13 years old, having no formal education, Daniel doesn't do it. It's no one's teaching him. But I feel like every person who's under 13 and younger, they're going to know. They're just automatically going to know how to create digital content.
And he loves editing.
That's crazy to me.
He loves it.
People pay me for that,
yeah.
And it's here's a 13-year-old who just picked it up. It up.
My media production class, my first video I had to edit. He was like, "Oh, give it to me. I'll edit it for you."
Wow.
And I, of course, didn't use it. I edited it myself. But to see what he could put together, he had that thing edited in, I want to say 15 minutes. It was really rough, but it was it
was decent.
Yeah, it was a better edit than I see on some videos in 15 minutes. And I was like,
and I want to say that's because he watches so much that he knows what's good and what's bad, I guess, because he knows what he likes.
Yeah, and he was using iMovie.
Wow.
Me, I used Premiere.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. Looking at the comments. Hey, Joseph, Gary V's book, you talked about the E. coli outbreak and your career path, etc. Jabbing is putting information out there. A right hook is asking for something back. Yes. Okay, that's what I thought you were talking about. Black Doom, jab, 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 right hook. It's the idea. Gary V is one of my heroes. You should look him up. But one of the things that he preaches is jab, 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 right hook, where it's you give, you give, you give, and then you ask. So it's not that you take, but you ask. And that is what has won him in marketing, is that as a content creator, as a brand, you constantly have to be giving value. Give, 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 give. And then at some point, whether there's a crisis or you have some special going on that you want to promote or something like that, that's when you ask.
What was his name again?
Gary Vaynerchuk. He is...
Gary?
Yeah. Vayner Chuck. C-H-U-C-K. C-H-U-K. Yeah.
Okay.
He's my hero. Okay. Hello, Heather. This question is for Daniel. As a 22-year-old and an avid YouTube viewer, what is your opinion of Heather's vlogs?
So, honestly...
No pressure. Seriously.
Honestly, I don't watch much of Heather's vlogs. That's not because I don't enjoy them. That's just, I'm subscribed to a bunch of people. Yeah. And there's like 5 that I'm diehard fan. As soon as they upload, I watch it. And
there's benefit to that because, like you said, you develop a different kind of loyalty. People, you really say to myself, who the heck am I to say anything about anything? Like, it's just like I talk to myself all the time. I'm just talking to myself. I'm just turning up. Make it interesting. Because a lot of us, it's like, what's so special about today? What's so special about yesterday? You know, it's like, how do you create a vlog out of it? And this is what I said this like 5 times to Daniel today, is that there is no difference between me and him, or me and you, or me and that.
Can't upload. I'll send you one of my videos that I made.
You should. I'd love to see it.
And then tell me how it is. Actually, I could probably stop.
Okay, cool. All right. I think YouTube is changing the internet. Oh, Joseph is the guy I wanted you to talk to, actually.
In connection.
Right.
Those are...
Me that lost the stream.
Vloggers, daily vloggers, who I watch, why I watch.
I might have to like restream. Or maybe, I don't know if it like adds on.
Wirecast.
And start over.
Yeah. Your CPU keeps on jumping.
I know.
I don't know if that's a problem. It like hit like -1 for like a second.
Oh, gosh. Okay, here.
Adam, is the live stream up? You've been watching?
Hold on. It's like